Well, we made it. This is the fifth and final area of the 5 areas that are critical for getting back to badass. Up to this point, we have talked about getting enough sleep, eating right, exercise, soul care, and today we'll talk about stepping toward our dreams. And the idea is simple. It is simply doing one thing each day to step toward our dreams. It doesn't sound like much, but over time it will add up. This area has a very curious effect on our badass. Now remember, I defined badass as a feeling of courage, strength, and resolve. And we need these 3 things to ever step toward our dreams. And these are the things that grow and increase as we do step toward our dreams. So we need badass to start pursuing our dreams, and then we grow in our badass. We increase our courage, strength, and resolve as we step toward our dreams. How does it increase our badass? Well, in order to step toward our dreams, we have to push through our comfort zones and do what I call big, scary things. And what does it take to do big, scary things? It takes courage, strength, and resolve. My friend Amanda told me once that if your dream doesn't make you want to throw up, it just isn't big enough. And I love this quote. I don't love being nauseated, but I love this quote because it reminds me that it is scary to step toward our dreams, and that's okay. It's okay to feel scared. I have found that when I do step toward a dream, I often feel a little nauseated, but I also feel alive. It is strange. I don't know why it works that way, but I have noticed that when I feel that weird nauseated feeling in the pit of my stomach, when I think about an idea, that's my clue that I need to go forward with that. I made a vision board for 2016 to keep me stepping toward my dreams and to keep my goals in front of me. It was really fun to make, and I would encourage you to do the same. So this is my vision board back here. I want to show it to you. Of course, my favorite quote is in the middle of the board. And also, in this top corner, I have a quote that really made me stop and think. And it is, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. And I realize that I am my own roadblock 90% of the time towards stepping toward my dreams. I waste time thinking about all the reasons I can't do something instead of going, let's make a list. Let's figure this out. In January of 2016, I went to a ladies' retreat, and I knew 2 of the 20 ladies that were there. So I was very nervous. But over the course of the weekend, we each had a large Post-it note that had our name on it. And over the weekend, we all went around and wrote phrases or words on each other's Post-it notes that described characteristics or qualities that we saw in each other. And at the end of the weekend, when I read what other ladies had written on my Post-it note, I had this feeling of, oh, I would love to be that way, because their words were so wonderful. It was grace-filled and kind and peaceful, faithful, inspires others to dream, gentle spirit, sweet soul, beautiful, talented, joy, and hopeful. And it took me a few minutes to realize I am those things. Those ladies just met me, and those are things they saw in me, things I want to be but don't really believe I am. And so I put these words on my vision board to remind me that I am these things. I just need to walk in them. I also put my goals on my vision board, my goals in writing and fitness, and because those are the 2 areas I wanted to focus on. And I didn't meet all my goals, but I stepped toward my goals, and that's a success. That's progress. So I'll take that. And in 2017, I'll continue those goals and probably have new ones. One of my writing goals, I have found with goals that sometimes our goals take us on a little journey. And one of the examples of that is on my board I have that I wanted to write for this really fun online magazine for kids called Historicool. And so I sent them an article for them to look at, and they accepted it and put me on the list of contributing writers, so that when they had their theme, so that when their theme list came out in June, they sent me what they were looking for. So then I got to pitch articles on things they were actually looking for. So I wasn't expecting all that. That was really fun. And so this year I also want to write for Historicool, and I'll add, another art magazine that I would like to write for. So the goal, sometimes just going toward the goal becomes a journey of its own, and it takes us places we didn't really expect. And it's fun. It's big, scary, and it's fun. It was very helpful for me to have a visual reminder of my goals, because like I said, 90% of the time I am my own roadblock, and I'm more likely to tell myself why I can't do something instead of saying, what would it take to make this happen? What steps would I need to follow? And I'm more likely to have that mindset when I am feeling badass, when I am walking in courage, strength, and resolve. Whenever I talk about stepping toward dreams, the first reaction that people have is, I don't have time. That's a luxury I can't afford. That we make time for things that are important to us. But also, we get creative with the time that we do have. Writing has always been a dream of mine. And before I had kids and I worked full time, I would write on my lunch breaks and at night or on weekends. And then once I had children, I would write it during nap times, which was, maybe a couple of hours on a really good day. And then now the kids are all in school, and I work part-time, so I still have about an hour and a half most days that I can spend on stepping toward my dreams. And that hour and a half goes by quickly some days, and some days I just get a lot done. It varies, but every day moves me forward. Even if it's just an hour, hour and a half, it moves me forward toward my dreams. And it's so worth it. And I have found that it gives me energy. When I spend time stepping toward my dreams, I feel energized. So when I get in the carpool line to pick up the kids from school, I'm like the happiest mama. I've got the music going, and I feel like I have done something for me. And now I have the energy to do the homework, supper, bath, bed routine that is the next part of the day. So it gives me energy to pursue my dreams. Stepping toward our dreams also inspires others. And the more that you step toward your dreams, the more you will see people around you. You'll notice that who's pushing their comfort zones and stepping toward their dreams. And it's so great. Over time, you'll see a community around you. It's good for us to be around people who are doing big, scary things, because it makes us see we can do it. And we all need cheerleaders. We need that community to help us grow. I have a couple of resources that I have found to be really helpful. For about a year before I even started my blog, I listened to podcasts while I was folding laundry or driving to the grocery store. And they were podcasts on writing and on building your brand and on marketing. Those are things I was interested in. Some podcasts I found very helpful and entertaining were Shilling Johnson, Lewis Howes, and Michael Hyatt. But it encouraged me to see other people doing what I would love to do and to hear how they got there. So podcasts are a great resource. And if you have a writing dream, I would really recommend you checking out Hope Writers. They are an online community and writing source that I have found to be so helpful. And they help me to pursue things I wouldn't have thought of on my own. So on the sidebar of my blog, there is a Hope Writers badge. And you click on that and you can check out Hope Writers. And I would love to know what your dream is. And I would love to know the first 2 steps that you plan to take to get there. Be sure to watch the last video in the series. It's kind of a wrap up of all that we've discussed. This has been so fun, and I can't wait to see your progress.